Okay. So the Long-Term Care Administrators Board meeting is convening at 9:11 a.m. on June 22nd, 2022 at the Health Licensing Office in Salem, Oregon. By telephone conference call, I will now call roll. Amy Brown.
Here.
Maggie Hilty.
Here.
Christine Prather.
Here.
Dane Jensen.
Here.
Catherine Kolinich. Mary Amick. Mary Rita Hurley. And Nicolette Rowley, and I'm here. Members, when you wish to speak, please state your last name for the record. For the record, public members calling into the public phone line are asked to email April Fleming at april.fleming@dhsoha.state.or.us and provide your first and last name. Public and interested parties' feedback may be heard during the public interested parties' feedback period if indicated on the agenda. Everyone is asked to use appropriate language, manners, and protocols when conducting board business. As of right now, I have Dave from Mount Angels Tower and Gwen Dayton from OHCA, both on the call as interested parties or public. And is there anybody else that has joined the call since I called roll? Okay, this meeting is called to order. Our first item is the approval of the agenda. Our agenda was sent out to the board members. We have 3 items on the agenda. It's obviously the approval of this agenda, policy review of House Bill 2970 with a discussion of draft rules to align with the requirements. And then obviously our third item is to vote and approve the draft rules and the rules schedule. So I just need a motion to approve the agenda.
This is Maggie Hilty. I motion to approve the agenda.
And a second?
This is Amy Brown, and I second the motion.
And then I will just take a vote. Amy Brown?
Yay.
Maggie Hilty?
Yay.
Christine Prather?
Yay.
Dane Jensen?
Yay.
And Nicolette Rowley, yay. Okay, so moving on to number 2, Policy House Bill 2970, and I'll turn it over to you.
All right, so this is Sylvie. So in your packet is Senate or House Bill 2970. The section that pertains to you guys specifically is in section 9, which starts on page 6 of the actual bill. It is just including a little bit of a change to what we as an office will accept for educational requirements. So it allows for an individual to have graduated from post-secondary institution. So basically the rules are almost identical to the bill. So if you move forward a little bit, the rules section, and just inserted just these parts of the residential care, because we only are opening the one section that pertains to application requirements. And it changed the black, dark bold is the black, where it says that they must submit a high school diploma or of its equivalent or passage of an approved high school equivalency test, including but not limited to the GED, or graduate from a post-secondary institution. So that dark bold black lettering is the new, and that obviously aligns identical with what is in the bill. And then if anybody has any comments on that, we can kind of go through it. And then right after a copy of that rules is the rule schedule. One thing I want to caveat is, and I looked this morning, the governor still has yet to sign 2970. So until she signs 2970, we will not be notifying lawmakers of the rule petition. So we currently have on the rule schedule to notify lawmakers on tomorrow. And so that will not occur until she actually has signed off on the bill. We have no thoughts that she's not going to sign it. It's just a formality of needing to wait. Once she's signed it, then we will notify lawmakers of the rule change. We will notify interested parties supposedly June 28th. If she has not signed the bill prior to, then we will do that for July, and everything will be bumped out a month for the rules and the public comment period. However, you will still meet September 7th, and you will still vote then and then the rules will still go permanent on September 15th. And just so that you know, even though the rules are not in place, that does not mean that we are not enforcing it. So we are currently accepting, for applicants who apply now, a post-secondary graduation as proof of education. So your rules are aligning with the statutes. We're policy-wise actually implementing it now. Does anybody have any questions, comments, concerns, want to discuss any of this?
So Sylvie, under A, when it says completion of high school or an equivalent education level, I'm making some assumptions there. It says deemed sufficient by the office. So obviously if someone presented something that wasn't on here, you guys would either make that decision or come to us. I'm assuming that equivalent education level would be something similar to like a homeschooled education level, or I don't know if homeschoolers have to take the GED or not. So we deal with that. This isn't the first board that we've had to deal with it. So homeschooling is very, very unique, and I can get into the details of it. But if you choose to homeschool your children and you do not maintain them in the educational system, then when they graduate, they do not have a high school diploma. And that's verbatim from Oregon Department of Education. So what I would consider a high school diploma or its equivalent, so say for instance, you went to school in another country that's not a high school, you have to have that education evaluated, and there's a service that does that. And they'll say this is equivalent to a U.S. 9th grade education, or it's equivalent to a U.S. high school diploma. I would accept that document because so that would be the equivalent kind of thing. So those are the things that we've done in the past. The GED, that's kind of pretty generic, but there's also, if you've gone to school in another country, it has to be evaluated. And there's companies that do that evaluation and give you letters. So that's when we will look at other stuff. The biggest thing that this was trying to fix was, I graduated from high school 35 years ago. I have my bachelor's degree or master's degree or whatever, and it's like, the law says you have to show us that you graduated high school. So this allows for that. No, I love this. This is great clarification and will be very helpful for all of us. So.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Anyone else have questions or concerns or?
No.
So Sylvie, just for clarification, do I now open it up to public interested parties feedback?
It's not on the agenda.
There is no public interested parties feedback on the agenda. This meeting was only to address the rules and move forward. The public will be allowed to comment on the rules during the public comment period, which we currently have scheduled from July 1 through July 28th. However, that's if the governor signs the bill in order for us to post that for the July 1. If she does not, then it will be August 1 to August 28th.
Okay.
But
So
that's when the
next
public
steps-
gets to comment.
Okay, so the next steps is to take the vote on accepting this policy change, correct?
Well, it's to adopt the proposed rules and the rulemaking schedule. So you adopt the proposed rules, then the public then gets to make comment on those rules and says, oh no, I think it should say this, or it shouldn't say that. And then once we gather all that, you'll review all that. And then on your September 7th board meeting, you would review all those comments, and then that's when you vote on permanent rules.
Okay, so Sylvie, will you just, obviously I need a motion and a second, and then we'll take the vote. But Sylvie, can you just lay out what that motion needs to say again, one more time for us?
Absolutely. So it's just to approve the proposed administrative rules and the rulemaking schedule.
This is Maggie. I make a motion to approve the proposed rules and the rulemaking schedule.
Is there a second?
This is Amy Brown, and I second the motion.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and take a vote. Amy Brown,
Yay.
Maggie Hilty,
Yay.
Christine Prather,
Yay.
Dane Jensen,
Yay.
Nicolette Riley, yay. Okay, great.
Perfect. So motion
Anything
carried. You
else?
just have a little script there for closing the meeting.
I do. The Long-Term Care Administrators Board meeting is adjourned at 9:21 a.m. Thanks, everyone. Appreciate it.